Hey guys, welcome back to my channel! This week we are going to be reading all Kindle Unlimited books, just a mood reading. I'm going to try to read all of them, but I want to try to get as many as I can out of my Kindle borrowed books so that I can return them and then keep reading and keep reading new ones, because I have, I think, about like 18 books checked out, not even lying, and some of them have been on there for a very long time and I just don't want to return them because I truly do want to read them. Life gets the best of us. Today is Sunday, November 3rd, and I am currently reading one that I actually have had on here for a while. Can't tell you how long. I'm pretty sure there's some way to check that. I'm not gonna do all that. All I know is that I have had it on here for a long time, and it is Love the Way You Lie, and this is by Gracie Graham, and this is part of the Boys of Riverside series. And when I tell you guys it's a football romance, it's like he's a bad boy, he's a football player, he is like the type of guy that you just don't bring home to your parents. I thought this one was unique because she actually is suffering from a huge loss in her life. She lost her mom in a car accident that she was involved with too and almost lost her life, but she cannot for the life of her remember what happened that day of the accident. She has her best friend Graham, who is actually Atlas's cousin, and they kind of don't really get along. They used to get along when they were younger, but now they just don't get along whatsoever. Okay, I can't remember what her name is, but when I do remember I'll let you guys know. Obviously Graham's her best friend, but like he's coddling her since her accident and she really wants to know what's happening, but she's scared that her doing it by herself is kind of gonna trigger it, and her dad has been super overprotective. It's like almost a year later and her dad is now just letting her go back to school for her senior year. He just doesn't want to have her out of his sight. He wants to have his eyes on her and make sure that she's safe at all times. Also doesn't help that like he's a sheriff in town, and this is like a small town, so everyone knows him, he knows everyone. And but where I'm at in the book, I am 29% into it. You see that she does this favor for Atlas to get him to play football. She ends up getting another player suspended because she's seen him buy weed, and ends up telling like her dad so that he can call it so that Atlas can help her kind of like try to recover her memories. And she wants Atlas to help because he's very blunt and just doesn't have any connections to her. He just doesn't care, and she likes that about him, that he's so blunt and just says what he wants to say and isn't like coddling her like everyone else is in that town. Also, Atlas comes from a very tough like upbringing. His dad is an addict and his mom left him when he was younger, and he's basically been the one who has kind of just raised himself, and obviously throughout that he has gotten in trouble sometime. His cousin Graham did not grow up that way, okay? He has a dad who is Atlas's uncle, who was an NFL player, so he has very nice upbringing compared to Atlas. But one thing to know as well is that Graham is in love with her. Like he plans on telling her, but I think by the time he plans on telling her, it's already too late. Like the moment her and Atlas kind of like connected, you kind of just seen this like little blossom happening, right? And I just love that. Like he doesn't care, but like he does care. Like he's like, why am I feeling the way that I'm feeling for this girl when I've never felt like this for anyone else? And we love when a guy feels that way. Obviously as a reader we're just eating that up. So right now her and Atlas, where Matt, are at the spot where the accident happened, and she's kind of hoping that this like brings up memories. I'm thinking that something happened. Either her mother told her something very upsetting because she believes that she's the one who killed her mother because she was the one who was driving. Either her mother told her something very upsetting about her dad, or she caught her mother in an act of something. I don't know, something along the lines like that I think happened. And this is me just guessing before I even get to the parts. I have no clue. This is just like my intuition telling me that something along those lines happened that made her freak out and crash or something. I'm not really sure, but we'll see how everything comes together. But if it's checked out and I have the physical book, I'll read the physical book, but just know that it's still on KU, and we love KU. I eat KU up. Like that's where I read 90% of my books. Say hi. You want to say hi, my sweet boy? This is River, guys. He's my wild one. He likes biting and he only likes to cuddle when he wants to cuddle, and I guess right now he wants to cuddle. I like this. This is how you know she likes him, because she goes, suddenly I want to know everything about this boy. What's real, what's not, how he feels, thinks, dreams. Girl, you got it bad already, and he's just helping you with something. Imagine when he actually puts the moves. Okay, so I am 32% into it now, and the way that her father acts, I get a father being scared about almost like you lost your wife, not almost losing your daughter at the same time, but like he's like overprotective. Took him 9 months to let her go back to school. I think I already said that. Now she was caught with Atlas at that restaurant, and her dad basically freaked the hell out. I'm very judgmental towards Atlas, and kind of just breaks your heart because just because of how his father is, how he grew up, and what he had to do to survive and make a better life for him, there shouldn't be any judgment for that. I think as an adult, people should see that. Her dad is very judging hard, but he also basically just threatened her and was like, if you can't go to school, go to cheer practice and come right home, I'll take cheer away from you and then you'll just go to school and come right back home. And if that doesn't work, then you'll just do virtual school. Like, I just feel like, yes, I think part of it is he's scared that something else is gonna happen. He's gonna end up losing her, but I also feel like he's definitely hiding something. Don't know exactly what, but he's definitely keeping something from her, or he doesn't want her to figure out something, or maybe it's just me overthinking. There's just definitely something going on that's just, it's not it. It's not it. As a parent, I could never do that to my child. There's something off. Good morning, guys. It is Monday and it is 6:43 in the morning, if you guys can see that. Don't ask why I'm up recording at this time. Actually, I can tell you guys, my son was up at like 5 something this morning. So I was like, you know what? I might as well just get up. I'm on to update you guys. I finished Love the Way You Lie, and I should say, I don't know why in the description on Goodreads, it does not say it's a love triangle between Graham, Atlas, and Mackenzie. I had no clue that was coming, and we all know that I absolutely hate love triangles, especially like the one in this one. So Graham is obviously her best friend. I think I said this before in a different clip. And then we have Atlas, who's Graham's cousin, who is new to town and obviously has a tough life at home. And then we have Graham, who's like the golden boy, the quarterback, all that good stuff. And then we have Mackenzie, who is a cheerleader but who suffered this great loss and can't remember anything from that day, or how the accident happened, or anything like that, or everything else she ends up finding out. I don't know how I feel about this, actually. Like, I hated the love triangle because we have Graham, who's her best friend, who has had years to confess to her how he felt, and Atlas kind of swoops in and kind of like steals his moment and has that real connection and moment with her as well. And she has both these guys, and one is like her best friend who she can't picture losing, and like never thought that she can look at him in that type of way until they kiss. And then she's like, wow, I can actually see this. And then we have Atlas, who's a bad boy and who comes from nothing and has literally no one on his side ever, and she doesn't know what to do. Like, she knows what she feels for Graham could be perfect, he's gonna be an amazing boyfriend if she does choose him, and she knows that. Then we have Atlas, who just brings out this wild side to her, and like this fierceness, and like this feeling that she can do anything and do no wrong. Graham and her dad, who put her on a pedestal and think that she can't do anything at all and she needs to be protected at all costs. And then Graham goes about things in honestly a shitty way. Atlas asked him multiple times like if he had a thing for Mackenzie, and each time he literally just denied it. And how can you be mad at that, you know? That's why I ended up going with the 3.5 star. It ends in a cliffhanger, which I was not expecting. I thought it was just going to be a one book and then we go into a different character, but no, I'll be reading the next book. Don't know when. This morning I'll be picking another book, and once I pick that book, I'll let you guys know. I'm trying to decide, should I just go right into the second book or should I not? I don't know. I might just pick up a different one. Okay, so I'm currently just making myself a bagel, but I wanted to come on and tell you guys the books that I have checked out. So I have checked out 20 books right now. So we read Love the Way You Lie, and then I also have Love How You Love Me, which is the second book in that series by Gracie Graham. Then I have checked out Bad Apple by Selena, which I kind of want to read next. And then I also have Bully Me by Selena. It's looking promising there. Then I have Immortal Prince, which is the second book in the, what series is that? The Age of Vampire series by Caroline Peckham and Susanna Valenti. Then I have Never Keep by them as well. Then I have Cage Wolf by them as well. House of Beating Wings by Olivia Wildeston. Then I have The Princess Trials by Cordelia K. Castile. Charlie by, I think that's Daphne Leigh. Lawless by Tracy Lorraine. Twilight of Embers by Tessa Hale. I have Gilded Wings by Jamin Eve. I'm hoping that's how you say her name. Or I think it's her. Then I have Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. Chasing Love by Kat T. Masson. Pillar by Jane Washington, I think. Recruitment by Kay Riley. The Pact by, oh my god, what's this? I think it's, I don't know, by Harper. That's the last name. And then I have The Unfated Mates, and I can't tell who that's by. So those are all the 20 books that I have checked out. Honestly, I think I might go into Bad Apple next. I know it's a reverse harem, which we love reverse harems. I think reverse harems are very easy to read and like straight to the point romances, which we all love. So I think I might start that one by her. My thing is that once I start a series, it's like I need to like continue that series. So if you see me go back to the Boys of Riverside series, because I just need to know what happens between Mackenzie and Atlas and that whole situation. So we're gonna read Bad Apple though for today. I'm hoping that I can like finish a book every day this week, or even like every other day or something like that. So let's see what Bad Apple's about. This is the Willow Heights Prep series. It says the Dulce Dulce boys reign supreme in the hallowed halls of Willow Heights, a prep academy as filled with secrets and lies as it is with rich, entitled pricks. The three arrogant and infuriating gorgeous brothers own the school and everyone in it. The girls want to date them, the boys want in their posse. They hate people like me, a girl from the wrong side of the tracks who has no interest in playing by the rules in their twisted games. I just wanted to leverage my scholarship to get into a good college and out of this hellhole. But that requires tangled with the cruel tyrants who run the place and make everyone bow at their feet. When I refuse to bow to Royal Dulce, the king of the elites, he sets his sights on me. Royal takes what he wants and suddenly he wants me. He thinks he can break me like the girls who came before, but I have a secret of my own to protect and I won't go down without a fight. Okay, maybe this isn't a reverse harem. This is the start of a brand new male-female dark enemy celebrity bully romance. No prior reading is required to enjoy the story. However, if you'd like to follow recommend reading order for all the books set in this world, please see about the author section. Okay, so I might have to go to the author section to see. Let me look this up and then come back and see if we're going to start with this one or not, to make sure that we're reading this series in order. So I think this does eventually turn into a reverse harem, so I'm going to start with it. I'm going to start with Bad Apple and see how it goes from there. Honestly, if it's that good, I might just go on to the second book of it. I don't know, we'll see what happens, guys. These are all on Kindle Unlimited, so I mean, it goes with the video, so we'll see what happens. So I'm back with an update. The Bad Apple is dark, very dark. I'm only 10% in and it's already freaking dark. It goes, if you want to ruin lives, you're going to be in for a serious disappointment with me. My life is already ruined. Hell, I was born ruined. Your worst day would be a fucking stroll in the park for me. Let's just say very dark. I would say if you have trigger warnings, definitely look at the trigger warnings, because in the prologue, you already start out with a bang. Something huge happens in the prologue and you're just like already, like we're just getting right into it, right? And that's exactly what happens, because you are definitely getting right into it. And I'm not disappointed. I love dark romance. I love reading dark romance. That's why I was like, oh, let's read it. But I wonder how it's all gonna play out, because right now I feel like there's gonna be a lot of revenge that goes into this, is what I want to say. A lot of revenge is gonna happen in this book, I think. We'll see. I'll update you guys a little bit more when I know the characters more and get a feel where the plot's going and stuff like that, with my guesses of what I think is gonna happen. Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday. Let's talk about Bad Apple, okay? Let's just say this is like, I think I said before in a different clip, but like it's a dark. There's just a lot of wrong and illegal things going on. Obviously, I'm 46% into it, so I will most likely finish it literally today. And it's just, I don't even have any words. It's just a good read, I guess you can say. It's a fun read. Obviously there's just some things where I'm just like, in real life, absolutely not. I think it's funny in its own kind of like dark humorous type of way. Let's just say the guys are just guying, and I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, it's advertised on Goodreads, like one of the trope things is like reverse harem, and that's why I was like, oh, I want to read it because I think it's a reverse harem. I don't think it's a reverse harem. I have been searching up and down to see if it is a reverse harem and if who are the guys in this harem, but like I have found nothing of it, so I'm going with I don't think so. I think it's just her and Royce having this really toxic relationship that we're gonna see. That's what I'm thinking. Royce is not the oldest, but like he's the second oldest. Where they're at now, obviously his oldest brother is gone, so he is kind of the eldest and kind of took the twins underneath him, and they rule Willow Heights, and that is a school that all the wealthy kids go to, and she gets a scholarship to go there. And then we have this mysterious Mr. D who keeps writing her whenever she gets on a computer on like this little chat thing, and she doesn't know how he keeps finding her, but she also knows that he's the one who got her into Willow Prep. She's trying to figure out who this Mr. D is, okay? So it could be for Dulce or it can be for Darling. So we're not really sure who. I have a feeling she might be connected to the Darlings and doesn't truly know, and that's why the guys are truly messing with her. Also, the way that they bully, like, I have never laughed so hard in my life until I read this, where he actually pulled out his pee-pee and slapped her in the face during school in the cafeteria in front of everyone. I died of laughter, because I'm just like, that's not real. Like, what? In what world, right? I don't know. Maybe it is a reverse harem and we just haven't really got, you know, we don't really know yet. I don't know, but I don't think it is. I truly don't think it is. At least I fingers crossed that maybe it is, but something's telling me that it's not. Pretty decent. Have nothing really bad to say about it. Like I said, it's one of those books where you kind of just like read. You're not reading it for like anything interesting. I mean, the plot is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, the plot is really good. I like this mystery, trying to figure out who Mr. D is, why these guys are being like this to her, and things like that. We haven't really got to know the guys on a personal level yet. More we're in Apple's point of view. Well, Harper Apple, that's her name, but I like calling her Apple. So I guess we'll see if we learn more about them in the second half of the book coming up now. Hopefully we do, to see why they are the way that they are. We are getting like these little like poems between chapters, and I think those are in the guy's point of views or Voice's point of view. I guess we'll see how the rest of the book goes. I just wanted to come on an update, so I'll update you guys around 1. It is Wednesday morning. I finished Bad Apple last night, like around 10. I think it was funny. I think obviously a lot of what goes on in it, I think some things can actually happen in real life, and then obviously like getting slapped with a dick in your face in the middle of lunch, that's not ever gonna happen. I hope not. I could be totally lying, and maybe it has happened to someone, but it's just the way that it just randomly happened, because I feel like Duke is always talking about things like that. Actually, all 3 of them are always talking about things like that. How it ended left me with my mouth open, because what? There's just about to be a lot that goes on in this book, and I'm ready for it. I'm excited for it. So I'm jumping right into book 2 of this one, and this is not a reverse harem. Royal is just too overbearing. I want to say overprotecting. Like, he shows her the sides that he doesn't show anyone else. Like, he's very nice and sweet to her, but the way that it ended kind of made it seem like that might have been just an act. I'm not really sure. I guess we'll see what happens in this one, but I ended up going with the 3 stars. Don't know if I already said that. 3 stars. I think Royal's a big royal ass. Let's start there. They're gonna have like a rude awakening coming to them. We still don't know who Mr. D is, who I need to know who Mr. D is. If you follow me on Fable, I'll put my Fable stuff down below. Fable, I wrote a quick little review and I thought it was hilarious. Excited for today. Don't know what's going on. It's actually really ugly how it's raining. It's probably gonna be raining all day today. Today I'm just gonna spend the day honestly just reading. That's kind of what I do. I want to just read all day, relax on my couch, and do absolutely nothing. We're gonna be reading this. I think this whole series is on Kindle Unlimited, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry about the yelling. See what we read after this, but I literally just returned Love the Way You Lie, and then I got the second book in this one. So am I really just adding more? I think after this, if it ends in a cliffhanger, maybe I'll go into the 3rd one. Not really 100% sure, but we'll see. Update time. Don't know why I have my glasses off. I'm just on here looking at or watching new YouTubers and following, subscribing to new YouTubers, or booktubers I should say. So if you're on booktube and you're new and you want me to follow you, literally just comment down below and I probably will. I love just watching anything book related. I have 4 hours and 45 minutes left in the book and I am 22% into it. Let's just say that it's like I feel like he's putting all this front for everyone else. Like, I think that he truly does want her and truly does like her, but just is so confused because he's never felt that way, that he's being so possessive. So literally he tells her, let me go back because I was just like, no, he did not. He goes, what is it? Your life belongs to me now. I can decide to end it at any time. You need to remember that when you're with me. Remember that every time I wrap my hand around your neck, I could choose to kill you or kiss you. What do I do is up to me, not you. I decide for you, answer for you. Do you understand? She's so defiant though. She goes, I glare up at him. Do you understand that you're the one standing on a ledge and the only thing stopping you from plunging into the water is your hold on me? And like, it's like something flips on him that she's not giving in to them. I think that that's what he really likes, is that she does not give in no matter what. Like, put her through, he's already humiliated her, took her dignity, did the worst possible things to her he has done, and she's still standing, she's still coming back. And then like, they really hate Colt. I need to know if there's like another series before this of the Darlingtons so we can know how bad they were, because like right now the Dulcies are just looking like evil, the it of all kind, just evil and just disgusting. We have found out like what really triggered, well, they were already like against each other, but really what really triggered everything is like their sisters. Like, I think his sister was with Darling and something happened to them, and then they started going after Colt's sister, and it kind of just made this whole thing even bigger, because like now you didn't only just attack an innocent person that didn't even want the Darling name, but now you just ruined a whole family. So I don't know, there's just so much that we still don't know. We still don't know who Mr. D is. We haven't heard from him yet in this book. You've seen her and Colt hang out and they have like this really great friendship. She knows like she never wants to do anything with him, like sexually, or like take their relationship farther than that. Like, she really looks at him and sees like a true friend in him. But like, she knew from book 1 that they told her, don't hang out with him. Royal said, I don't want you near him. Don't talk to any guys. If I see you with him, there will be consequences for him, not for you, for him. And in this one, we see the consequences coming. I just feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because he looks like he's such a, well, he sounds like he learned his lessons. Like, yes, he knew that, now looking back at everything, he knew that what they were doing was messed up as well. They weren't as messed up as Doysols. Is that how you say it? Is that what I'm, as the Doysols, but, or the Dorseys? Is it Dorsey? I don't even know. God, I can't remember the last name. He knows that they did some fucked up shit too. So I think sitting back and being in the background now, like he's seeing all that. I hope they wrote a story for him because I would really love to read Colt's story. And I hope that Harper's and his friendship grows because I can truly see them being friends. Like in this one you see like she's very hurt that she caused him pain. A lot of things that we need to still figure out basically. Then we have the brothers who keep like saying all these sexual things to her, but like every time they go to act on it, Roy was like, no touching her, no looking at her, like nothing. She's nothing. I think they're messing with her more and messing with him more because they've never seen him like that with someone. So it's just intriguing to them. Like, what is so special about this girl that has you so wrapped up? Even like their friend Posse is seeing that and they're just like what? Like, you look stupid. But it's interesting to see like the dynamic going on in here, how everything's going to come together. I guess we're all gonna see where this goes. I will say this is a true like dark bully, enemies to lover romance right here. This is the definition because the first book, it left me with my mouth open, quite literally. And I laughed in that one. It's just like, she's such a badass though. Like, you know, she just doesn't give up. Like, she's going to do what she has to do to get where she needs to be, to get out of this freaking town because she knows it's no good for her. And she knows that she wants better for herself, but obviously all these obstacles keep getting in her way. So she needs to keep fighting and it doesn't matter what she goes through. Her goal is to just leave the town and she plans on doing that. I like her. I should say that. I like her. I think she's pretty cool. She fights, she does poker, she does anything she needs to do to save money to try to get out of this town, and I really like that about a character. So I'm 22% in. I'm hoping that I can finish this by 5 o'clock tonight. I'm gonna get to reading and stay reading for a while. I will talk to you guys when I'm done with the book. It is Thursday and I just finished Brutal Boys 30 minutes left before I fell asleep last night, but I needed to go to sleep. So I'm on here to give you guys a little review. So in this one we really see like kind of her really falling for him, and then like obviously Royal being just a royal ass as usual. But we found out some deep information which I feel like I kind of knew from the beginning. There was a reason why he was targeting her. I honestly think that it's Mr. D is one of the darlings, and if not even, no, actually I take that back. I don't think it's one of the darlings. I honestly truly believe that it's Royal's dad, who is Mr. D. He's just a pedo. Let's just put it like that. Like literally all the information that he tries to get from her is basically he wants intel, but he's also asking about her personal sexual life, which I think is just creepy first off, because we know it's an older man. I truly believe that it is their father. It must be a Darlington, and that is just barely just gross and disgusting because especially how this ends and we find out what we find out, which I knew from the first book because there was a reason why they were targeting her. I don't know. I think I'm overall gonna give this book a 3 stars. I think we see a little bit more of Royal's sweeter side, but not a ton. I'm hoping in book 3 like he truly opens up. I think there's 4 books in this. I could be wrong. I think there's 4 books. But yeah, as I'm updating you guys in the Burger King line, we have lunch with Mia, so that's what we're doing. I'm just picking up Burger King for us. Don't want to spend $6 on their Thanksgiving lunch when I know I'm not going to eat it. So I was like, I'm just going to pick something up and then go in with it. And I got extra in case Mia wants some of it because I know she's going to get the Thanksgiving lunch. But I know last year she didn't eat any of it. So I just got extra for her as well. But now it's just waiting here. It's 10:16. Her lunch begins at 10:30. So I really wanted to get there a little bit earlier. But honestly, with how it is, I might be waiting here a while, which really sucks. Do you see that? I feel like the twins, Royal's siblings, they're psychopaths just like him. But I think they see that how she affects Royal in a good way, and they kind of like her company. I think they all kind of like their company, to be quite honest, and they just don't know what to do with it because of who she is. So it's going to be interesting going into book number 3 and seeing how they're gonna, yes, they have bullied her, but I think it's gonna up now because of who she is, and they think that she needs to pay. We will see how that goes. And sorry for the lighting, it's terrible out here right now, all the lighting. It's super gloomy out today. I think I'm gonna go right into book number 3. This is a fail because I was like, I want to get through the books that I want to get to on my Kindle, and I'm just adding more to them, so that is totally okay. But yeah, I'm going to download that, start it, and update you guys in a little bit. I'm probably gonna start it on my phone as we wait in this line, to be quite honest, but I'm pretty sure I have to return a book, so we'll see what happens. Okay guys, I am mentally so screamed. Sorry, you're probably gonna hear my son. The last 2 days we have been getting up at like 5 in the morning, and I'm just so, by now I'm just like burnt out and I'm ready for bed, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. Oh, I wanted to update you guys. So I'm like 13% or something crazy like that into it. Probably get like a little bit more than halfway tonight. I think it says, yeah, 18%. It's honestly not bad. Like, I think at this point, like, so he knows something that she doesn't know about herself. Obviously something huge, and it's a determining factor of why he's been messing with her, why they all have been messing with her essentially. And it's kind of crazy, but like he doesn't realize like he's getting played as well. Like they're both playing each other, except she knows that he's playing her. Like, you know, like she knows like, hey, going in that like he's not this good guy. Like she's seeing all these different sides to him, but she knows that like through and through he's a dark person, right? And like she can connect to his softer, darker side, right? Willing, okay, not that she knows, she's willing to break her heart if it breaks them. And that's kind of like where it's at. Especially, she really wants to take them all down, but especially Royal, I think, just because of the things that he has done. This is a book where like you really have to dark romances, and you really need to just, I'm not saying like it, but like you need to realize like it's dark. It is very, very dark. So definitely look up trigger warnings. But I mean, I'm enjoying the storyline. There are a lot of things that I don't really like about Royal, but I'll save that for another time. Just how she kind of thinks of herself, and like how she was raised to think. Like her mom gets a lot into her head, I will say, and it determines like different things, like different avenues that she goes down because of the views that she has because of her mother. So it's just a lot. There's a lot going on, and I can't wait to see where it's going to go, because right now she's a, I don't even know, their last name is D-O-L-C-E, girl, and that's where she needed to get. So she's in basically the in group right now, and now she needs to get what she needs to get from Mr. D, but we still don't know who Mr. D is. So I'm hoping that we get a little bit more clues by the end of this. I feel like I kind of know who it is, but I'm not 110%. Just know it's about to get really, really freaking interesting, and I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. Just wanted to update you guys on that. So I'm gonna go read a little bit more, try to relax, get everyone settled into bed so that we can relax and I can read and edit and do all the fun things that I do at nighttime, I guess. Just read. It's the way that she keeps on, I'm 49% into it and it's 8:49, but she keeps going back for more. I'm pretty, like 99% sure that she's in love with him at this point. She doesn't realize it yet, but she is, and I feel like he is too. But like he's constantly disrespecting her, like on so many levels. I can't even tell you guys. This is beyond bullying at this point. Like they're both using each other, and right now he goes, scream it and I'll come so deep inside you that it changes your freaking DNA, he growls. Like, sir, this book is toxic. If you want a toxic relationship, they're taking the cake right now for it on so many levels. And I know a lot of people say that if you read the first series, I think, which follows Crystal and one of the Darling boys, I can't remember, Devlin, I don't know, something like that, Darling, like you understand why Royal is the way that he is in this series, and you kind of like understand him more and understand his perspective on how he goes about things with Harper. I don't know, how do you forget someone? It's so hard to say, because some of the things he's not getting consent for, okay, right? But she likes it. Like, I don't even know how to, I don't know. I'm lost. I'm a little, this is toxic. Like I said, it's toxic, and I'm eating it up because they're so toxic. I'm gonna continue reading. I just had to come on and read that, because I'm just like, that's not toxic. What is? This is a dark, dark romance, and if you don't like that, don't read that. Good morning, guys. It's Friday, and I'm 67% into it. I have an hour and 56 minutes left in the book. But let me just update you guys. Sorry, the light's gonna kind of change a little because I'm gonna go plug in my Kindle because it's literally about to die since I've been reading my life away the last 5 days. Let's plug it in. Okay, so let me get back into updating you guys. So I want to preface that, like, I'm not attached to these characters, but like we do find out some very disturbing things about Royal that he has to do for his father, and just things that like no child, doesn't matter what age your child is, should do for a parent or a business deal or whatever the case may be, you know? And somehow like that doesn't discourage her from wanting to truly get to know him and like just be with him. Like I think that she's fucked. Like she loves him. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like she loves him, and that's just that. We're not really getting anywhere. Like I have no clue who Mr. D is. It's one of the two families. Now who in the family, I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's their dad though. I don't know why something keeps coming back to that. I think it might be their dad. I think he might be trying to see what Royal is telling telling her through her. He's the only pervert that I have ran into during I mean, there's a couple of them, but like as an adult, he's the only one that I truly would guess in her scenario now and where we're at in the book. So I don't know, it's interesting. We met his older brother King. I don't know if King has his own book. They just have a really rough upbringing even though they come from money, and I feel like in books like this where we see parental figures are just like assholes. The way that people can use their kids, it's just crazy for me, and I could never do something like that. So I think reading about that really just are very cruel people in this world. I mean, if you guys see my dark circles, do not mind. Like, since the time change, life has been kicking my booty. So you've been waking up at like 5 a.m. I think because I want to know what's going on or what's gonna happen so bad in this book. Well, the series, I like can't put it down. That's the only reason. And I want to see like this breakthrough with Roy. I want to see the sweet side that he shows her at times. Not all the time, because I do like his asshole side a little bit as well. We do like a little toxic in a relationship. Yeah, I'm ready to just see how this wraps up. I have a feeling that his sister, who everyone knows has passed away since like the first book, I think she's still alive. I think her and whatever darling she's with, I think his name is Devin. Am I wrong? Or Devlin? I don't know, something like that. I think they're still alive, and I think they're gonna reappear. Like, I'm very intuitive to this, but then she also did get in contact with like a darling who thanked her for saving another darling. I don't know, there's just a lot of little pieces that I'm trying to put together that I'm like, they're almost fitting together, but they're not quite there yet. You know, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Yeah, so I'm charging that my Kindle so that once I'm done doing my Bible study that I can go right into that. I think after this one, there's one more book, and literally if I finish one more book, I think that'll be like 5 books that I finished this week. I'm not even lying. And these are pretty short books. I'm gonna say around 200-300 pages, around somewhere around there, I would guess. I haven't really looked at how many pages. And I think on Goodreads, yeah, it has like 4 stars on Goodreads, and even the other ones have pretty good ratings too, around 3.5, 4 stars. Interesting. I love looking at the readers also enjoyed, because that's where I kind of go off my inspiration then, because I'm like, ooh, I need to read this. I don't know if this is on KU, but we're gonna mention it because it sounds good. They Break Beauty, a dark college reverse harem romance. We all know right there, I'm already hooked. Reverse harem, what? We want to read it. Let's see what it's about. I've caught the attention of the most dangerous men on campus, and they vow to make my life a living hell. Coming to Stonewall University was the beginning of a fresh start, but in my second year, all of that changes because of him. The moment we collide, everything is put in jeopardy. He wants to burn down what I've built. He wants me corrupted and dragged into blackness just like him, and he's not alone. His 2 dark soldiers are right by his side. Together, they're known as Hex. Once you're marked by them, your life is cursed beyond saving. Levi Knight, Hellraiser, volatile and tormented. Vengeance courses like poison through his veins, wearing his pain like armor. He's feral and malicious to those who cross his path. Mason Hall, Scourger, controlled and scarily patient, he masks his cold heart brutally behind a boy next door facade. Calculative and vicious, he's a devil in disguise. Bolton Sharp, maverick, life of the party, the wild player on campus, but beneath the shiny surface, he's dangerous and unhinged. His reckless and erratic nature makes it impossible to see him coming before he strikes. Cruel, toxic, soulless. There's no limit to their maddening fixation. They're pulling me back into savagery, can't say that word, and shadow. I spent years running from that old life, but returning to that nightmare might be the only way to survive them. That sounds so good. Oh, I actually want to read it. And I think it's only 1 book. Is it a standalone? I think so. I think it might just be a standalone, guys, and I want to read it. I love a good reverse harem. We all know that. Oh my god, we all know that. That's why I started this series, because I thought it was a reverse harem, and we all know it's not. Church Bradley Academy. Okay guys, well I will update you guys once I'm here. You guys are probably gonna hear that weird sound. That's my son playing with his cars. Good morning. It is November 9th, Saturday. I finished, I'm so sorry, Boys Club yesterday night and went right into book number 4. But in Boys Club, my mouth was on the floor half the time. She goes through some very chilling things and experiences and just trigger warnings galore in that book. I think throughout the whole series, just look up your trigger warnings for each book. I think we really see a true dark side to Boyle, but we also see how she can truly understand him and get him out of like that other headspace he goes into. In this book, how it ends, I don't know how she is going to forgive him in book number 4, because what he did and what he does is just like unforgivable. I just don't know what to say. We do find out who Mr. D is in book number 4. I hate when people go into dark romances and don't look up the trigger trigger warnings and then complain about said trigger warnings. Just make sure that you look it up. I will say that we do get to see some sweet sides of Royal, but it's not enough for me to be like, oh my god, like I love Royal. Like, no. I think that she definitely was in over her head and thought that there's no way. But I think that how she went about things obviously was wrong as well. It's just, I don't even know how to explain how I felt. It's so weird. It's not that I don't like Royal, because I do like him, but I was just like, it's so weird to, how do you forgive something that, I don't know, if you guys have read it, you know what I'm saying, but like, how do you forgive someone after everything they have been through, even though you know that he's responding because of his triggers and what he went through from being kidnapped from the Darlings, which we know from book 1 that happened. But like, how bad was it? Will we know the details? I don't know if we'll get the details. This is probably one of the longest books in the series. I think it says on my Kindle 622 pages, so it's definitely a longer book, but like, I'm hoping that we get to actually see what actually happened, like see him open up more in book number 4, because in book number 3, ending that cliffhanger was just like, I left my mouth on the floor because I could not believe what I was reading. It was just wild, and I was just like, mouth on the floor, that I had to give it 4 stars because the shock value of that, and I could not believe what I was reading. Like, I don't know how to explain to you guys a better understanding. Like, I could not believe. I was in shock, I think, with her while everything was going down, but she knew this was a risk that was going to happen, and she knew at the end of the day, like, they were going to break each other, and I think they did more than break each other. I think going into book number 5, you truly see that he actually does care about her in this sick, twisted way. He cares about her, and it's just like, how do you put someone that you care about through all the things you have put this girl through and then expect her to still be the girl that she was before all this happened? I don't know. It's just a lot going on. I am on, like I said, book number 4, which is Broken Doll. It says that I have 41%, 5 hours and 1 minute left in the book. Kind of just like, I have my heater on here, and don't mind all the toys on the floor because my kid they just have this habit of just bringing all their stuff into my room. I am about to just read for a little bit, edit, attempt to get my life together, but I did finish that one, and I did want to come on and update you guys. I know this vlog is kind of just me popping in and popping out. Came back on whenever I was done with the book so that I can update you guys on my thoughts and things like that. But I think this book is leaving me baffled. I don't think I ever read a series where like I mean, yes, I read some twisted books where they're super twisted, but not to the point where it's like the main male character does the things that Royal is doing. Because like I said, how do you forgive someone after how book number 3 ended? Like, I don't know how this is gonna go or where it's gonna go. I think she does end up forgiving him. We also see in book number 4, Broken Doll, but there's some Darlings that believe that Devlin is alive. So I wonder if we're gonna see, I have a feeling they're gonna come back, guys. I just have a feeling in my heart that they are gonna come back and set the record straight and take down Royal's dad. I think he's the one who needs to be just eliminated out of it. But it's so weird because I never read a series where it's like, yes, the dad does all this crazy shit and makes their kids do crazy shit, but like, he truly does care about them. It's like the weirdest thing that I ever read, and I don't know, maybe it's confusing me a little, but I'm just like, what is going on? Because like I said, never read a book like that. It's very interesting to see that family. I feel like I'm always in a black sweater update on where I'm at in the book. I'm 61% in, and I still have 3 hours and 25 minutes left, so I'm gonna be finishing this before bed tonight, but I probably won't update you guys tomorrow morning. But we're really seeing Royal try with her in this one. Like, he knows that he messed up royally and how he treated her and how he made her feel and just all of the above. He's definitely trying to make up for it. Somehow him and Preston are kind of not getting along, I wouldn't say, but both want what's best for her. And where she's at right now, she's very emotional and kind of just suicidal and just things like that. I mean, who wouldn't after what she went through? So there's just a lot going on in that aspect, and him trying to prove like, hey, like, I want you and I'm doing all these things because I want you, and I'm basically using those things kind of like as an apology. But she believes that he would never fool out, like say like, hey, I'm sorry, you know? So I don't know how it's going. It's going so far. I like seeing this back and forth. Got to see Colt again. I think the last time we seen Colt was in book number 1, and she's back at Willow Height Prep Academy. So I want to see how the twins are going to treat her after everything that has happened. We have Royal just showing up randomly all the time, just wanting to be near her, wanting to make sure she's okay because he's terrified that she's gonna do something and he's gonna lose her. So I'll update you guys at the end, because who knows what the hell can happen with how crazy every ending has been, even though this is the last book, but who knows. Before I jump in the shower, just gonna update you. I finished Broken Doll. It ended in a cliffhanger. I don't know why I thought that was the last book. That's not the last book. There's one more book after this, and Mouth on the Floor. What? They're trying to pinpoint who Mr. D is at this point, and so there's just a lot of questions and all trying to figure out who it is. I don't know. It's a little wild. It's a little crazy, not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna not put a pause on it, but I think I'm just going to, because I told my book bestie that I would start Filthy Rich Boys with her, which is going to be a reread for me. It is on Kindle oh my god, KU, Kindle Unlimited. Cannot talk today. So I'm gonna start this literally probably here soon. I can probably finish this by like tonight, to be honest, just because the series is just so easy to read and sucks me right in, and she's one of my favorite authors, which you guys probably know that because my Reverse Harem series that I'm coming out with, not book series, but like series on my channel where I talk about Reverse Harem authors and go through their books that I like. So kind of like a book rec. Episode 1 is going to be out and it's on CM Stunch. You guys probably already know that. I reread this whole series like every year. I think there's like 4 books in it, and when I tell you I devour it and I love it, I love all her books. Like if I can, I will probably always reread her books and Hamill Jones' book. Don't tell me anything because I'm always rereading them. I'm about to start this, but I ended up giving that last one 3 stars. You're just seeing her really deal with her emotions after something tragic happened to her and accepting like, hey, where do I go from here? Like she kind of like seems really lost and doesn't know like where to go from her situation. Very wild, very crazy. And I can't really say much more than that because then it's going to give a lot of other things away in it. But let's just say my mouth was on the floor through half of this book. I'm not even lying. There's just, it's dark. And I know I keep saying this on every clip. It is dark. It is a dark romance. I'm yelling it now because I feel like most of you guys don't realize that. So there are triggers in here. So please look up the trigger warnings. That's why there are warnings. All books that have triggers, mostly all of them have them at the beginning of the book. Like they let you know, like there are triggers. There's the link. Go look it up. Some people don't put it in it because it gives away a lot of the storyline or whatever is gonna happen. This one, I don't think I've read anything like this dark in a long time. As in like the males in these books are dark. At the end of this book, like you're just with your mouth left open because it's like, what was the point of you doing everything you did to her for what? For why? I'm gonna go. I gave it 3.5 stars. I just took this picture and put it on my Instagram, letting everyone know that I am reading Filthy Rich Boys and I absolutely love it. Honestly, I might just end this now because I already know that I'm probably not going to be able to put this book in here. I know I did not expect this for me to just be reading one series throughout this whole KU Unlimited experience. Wow, it was a ride and I really enjoyed it. I love KU. I think it's like $11.99 a month now, and I pay for it every single month because it's one thing that I honestly take full advantage of. I'm always on KU, believe it or not. I'm always downloading KU books, and when people say that they don't use it that much, I'm like, how is that possible? Because I mean, I live on it. Most of the books that I do have, I try to look for them on KU, and you know what, like I want to say like 80% of them are on KU and I can go on there and read it. If it's not, then I'm just stuck with reading the book and that's okay. But most of the books that I read are on KU, so I get the benefit of it. I can see people who the type of books that they read might not be on there, so they are not getting the benefit of it, but that's a reason why I will always be a Kindle girly, because KU, it's life. Thank you guys for watching and spending the week with me reading Kindle Unlimited book. Like I say, they have a whole bunch of, they have so many books that you could choose from and read from and fall in love with new authors and characters and just the whole 9 yards, and that's really one of the reasons why I love KU. I think if I did not get KU in like 2018, I would not have found half of the authors that I have found, like people that introduced me to kind of like that bully romance, dark romance side of things. And of course my favorite trope of all time, Reverse Harem. And since then I have just been flying through life, loving every book that I read in different ways, obviously some more than others, but KU just kind of opened my range of reading and romance, and I'm never looking back. I will forever be a KU girly. Thank you guys again for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!